Hey, welcome to English 10, a Co-Taught Modern Classroom. Here's our first video, so let's get started. Learning objective is students will be able to define a modern classroom and how English 10 will work this year. I'm Ms. Cope, and let's take some notes. Ask yourself this question in the back of your mind: what is English 10 like? That's what I hope this video and the next video will answer for you. First of all, it's designed using Modern Classrooms project, which I'm sure you've heard of by now. You know, Modern Classrooms was designed for students who are so bored because they're learning for the umpteenth time the same material they've already mastered. It's also for students who are so overwhelmed with new material, they don't even know how to start or how to answer a question. Modern Classroom is designed to help students with these problems because it differentiates learning. Let me tell you some more. Modern Classroom is a class that uses instructional videos, and like you're watching right now, that I make ahead of time, that you can watch anywhere, anytime, as many times as you like in order to get the content. But also, and this is really important, it's also a time for me to work with you one-on-one or in small groups in the classroom. And so it's a hybrid, it's a combination of those two things. Different students also will be working on different things at different times because it's self-paced and differentiated. How do I know you've learned something? Well, it's by taking a mastery check at the end of a lesson and then you move on to the next. So one definition of Modern Classrooms is a class where teachers use instructional videos instead of lectures so students can move at their own pace, getting help when needed, and moving to the next lesson after showing mastery of the content. Also, Modern Classroom has three main pillars. The first pillar is blended instruction, and this means that students access new content through teacher-created videos like the one you're watching. The second pillar is self-paced structure, and this means that students learn at their own paces within each unit of study. So if something comes easy for you, or if you've already mastered the skill, you can just keep on moving to the next lesson. The third pillar is mastery-based grading, and this means that students progress only when they demonstrate mastery. So in a modern classroom, you can't just do the summative assessment. You have to show mastery of formative work in order to be eligible for a summative assessment. All right, let's talk about what the daily routine is going to look like in class this year. First of all, when you first get to class, you're going to do a do now, which quick spells out your plan for the day. And then you're going to work on whatever lesson you're at. You'll be watching a video and taking notes like you are now. You might be in a huddle where you're meeting with me or Ms. Nelson, my co-teacher, about whatever it is you need help on. You might be doing other activities in the packet. And then when you're done with the lesson, you'll be taking a mastery check to show your knowledge and understanding. And then at the end of class, quick reflection and time to pick up and move on. As far as the materials you need for class, you need to make sure that you've got a Chromebook every day. The Media Center has tons of extra Chromebooks, and so you can check one out if you don't have yours. And you need headphones. I have some at the front table you can use if needed, and you need something to write with. I also always have something to write with on the front table. Help yourself anytime. And then finally, you need your packet and whatever book we're working on. I'd like you to keep your packet in a folder or a 3-ring binder because that helps keep all the pages stapled together. As far as what not to have in the English 10 classroom, you can't have personal devices. And this is new this year, and so this is going to be a change, and it's going to be hard for us to get used to at first. But all personal technology and devices need to be put away during class time. Once the bell rings, devices should be out of sight. Put them in a pocket, put them in a backpack, put them in a purse. And repeated violations, if you've got your personal device out, is going to lead to consequences, and eventually it'll mean that your personal device is going to be taken away while at school, and nobody wants that to happen. So let's just keep them out of sight, out of hearing when we're in the classroom. Once in a while, you'll be able to use it for academic purposes, but you first have to talk to your teacher about that. All right, deadlines in the classroom. Well, first of all, we have two different kinds of deadlines. We have target deadlines and hard deadlines. Target deadlines are suggested, and if you stay on pace, that means you'll be meeting the deadlines according to that target deadline guideline. Hard deadlines are absolutes. At a hard deadline, you can't turn in anything afterwards. So that is the key difference. How do you know when stuff is due? Well, there's a pacing tracker at the front of your, there's a pacing tracker that is used in the classroom and on Schoology that shows what lesson everyone is at. And keep in mind, you're only eligible for summative assessments if you complete all the mastery checks by that hard deadline. Here's what a pacing tracker looks like. I'll have these on screen at the beginning of class every day, and you'll see you'll look for your name over here. You'll see what lesson you're on, and you'll also see what other students are on. So if maybe you're on 5.5 and you want to see, is there anybody else on that lesson? You're going to look down here. Oh, no, nobody's on 5.5. You're ahead of pace. But 5.3, maybe you're on 5.3. Look for somebody else who's on that lesson and maybe ask them how they're doing on it. You sure can. That's what the pacing tracker is all about. It's also the first thing you'll see on our Schoology page. Here's another way to look at the pacing tracker, and this is by lesson. So you can see if you're on 5.6, these are the people who are also on 5.6. Talk to them if you need help. Mastery checks are important. We have these at the end of every lesson, and I have specific protocol that you have to follow with the mastery check. You have to leave your phone actually with me, and you have to go into the mastery check zone. You can only use your packet and your pencil, no electronic devices, not your phone, not your Chromebook. And you either pass or revise, you'll get it back from me or Ms. Nelson within 24 hours. And if you pass, you move on to the next lesson. If you revise, you get some help from me and you keep working at it until you show mastery. These are formative assessments, so they're assessments for learning. And a reminder, you must show mastery on all mastery checks in a unit by the hard deadline in order to be eligible for the summative assessment. All right, welcome to Modern Classroom. That's your first video.